My name's Patricia Call, and I'm 75. I met Hank. I was 18 when I met him. He worked in the little cafeteria of a five and dime store. That's when I first met him. I thought he was cute, and then he asked me out. After that, we were just kind of meant to be together, supposedly. We had 7 kids together, really great kids. It was just, the relationship wasn't, as time went on, it just got worse and worse. Well, I read an article in a magazine, but he said if you had 6 months to live, what would you want to do with your life? And my first thought was I wanted to get a divorce. So I started with the proceedings and that, and he had to leave the house. But eventually it just kept getting harder on me to be responsible for 7 kids, and we were on the state. So I had asked him if him and his girlfriend would come and stay with the kids for like a couple months so I could get my head straight. And so he said no. He said he wanted everything back. I mean, he wanted the house, he wants the kids, he wants the car. Yeah, so I asked him for $1,500, and I sold all my kids. Well, I gave them all legal custody. The oldest, she was already past 18. So it's kind of, they all had some place to go if they didn't want to stay with their father. I was always going to try to stay until my son, the youngest one, Sonny, until he turned 18. I think he was 9 when I left. But when I first left, it was like it was too much. I bought a ticket to go to Oklahoma. I figured if I wanted to die, I wanted to die far away. But by the time I got off the bus in Oklahoma, it's like I was somebody else. I can't explain it. It was just, I wasn't nervous anymore. I wasn't scared. I didn't feel like I wanted to die. And now I had been somebody, I had never gone any place by myself. I stayed there for a few weeks. By the time my money was running out, I decided that I needed to go back home. So I came back home to Connecticut. I stayed with my sister. I knew I would never go back to being with the kids. It was like, I gotta do something different. So one day in the grocery store, I picked up one of those papers you see at the checkout counter. And then it had this article. It was called Sheila Wood's Have a Friend column. So people sent in ads when they were looking for somebody. Now this is something I would never have done. But I did. I figured, well, nobody's gonna know. It was like a few months went by, and then I got the ad from Ron. He lived in Maine, so his sister was down in Massachusetts, and she used to send him up goodie boxes. And so in the box was one of those newspapers that had my ad in it. I was a little skeptical when I saw the note from him, but I figured it wouldn't do any harm. So I just wrote him a letter. He never could really read that good or anything. He had like a, 5th grade level education or something. But anyhow, so he sent me back tapes. He could just talk and talk. And the first cassette I got from him, it was just like he was somebody I knew forever. It was the coolest thing.
Hi, Pat. Well, I received your letter and was so happy to hear from you. Gee, I never imagined, that I'd ever hear. I like the way you were so honest about it, about yourself and everything.
So after several cassettes from him, I decided I was going to go up and visit him, which I never would have done. But I did. I was a little nervous when I got there. He had sent me a picture of him, so I went to get off the bus, and there he's standing at the bottom of the stairs. But he took my hand, and it was just like an electrical connection or something. You could just feel it go from his arm all the way up my arm. It was just cool. And it was just like, it was just meant to be. I spent my vacation there and decided that I was going to stay. It was the best. It didn't last long, but it lasts for not quite 10 years. The best 10 years, anyhow. It was wonderful. We lived in a trailer, and we didn't have electricity at all. Oh, he loved to cook, and I hated to cook. It was the best. I couldn't have asked for anybody if I sat down and listed what I wanted in somebody. But anyhow, we got married in December the same year. Found out that he had oral cancer. He had been so positive in the beginning about, and we're going to be fine, and all this and that, and well, it wasn't. Eventually they got down to where they told him there was really nothing more they could do. They gave him like 6 months to a year to live. They put him on, I think it was morphine or something. And it's like it made him, he wasn't who he had been. So finally he realized that, we couldn't live there anymore. We'd have to come down to Connecticut. And my daughter, Julie, and her husband said we could stay with them. So they brought us down, and my daughter took him to the hospital for treatments. And they put him in the hospice program. Eventually he was still alive and whatnot, but he wasn't there upstairs. He didn't know who I was. One time he even tried to get out of the window. He was screaming, help, help out the window. He was trying to get away from me, and I was trying to calm him down and get him back in his bed. Anyhow, he lived 7 months from the time they gave him the 6 months to a year. They were horrible months. But he died one night. It was early Easter morning, 1995. But I remember after he died, a few days afterwards, I remember going to bed and thinking about it, and I swear I could feel him next to me, holding my hand. It's the only time it happened, but I figured his way of saying he was okay, that he finally made it. Well, I think the most meaningful thing that come out of it was, I was never a religious person, and the way he talked about Jesus, he just had his own way of seeing Jesus. It just made me realize there's got to be something bigger than me in this world. That if he could really have that much faith, so I figured, well, I could do that. At night, I say what I consider it's like a prayer of thanks for all the people and things I'm thankful for, so. I do it every single night, and I figure that hopefully it helps keep all my family safe.
What do you miss the most about him?
Everything.
So, the tape is just about ready to run out, Pat. So remember now, I hope you enjoy this, and I hope to hear from you real soon. And you take good care of yourself and keep in good health. And either keep the pen going or keep the tapes coming. Okay, Ken? And we'll be talking to you again very shortly. So hang in there. We'll see you later, Pat. Thanks again for writing. Okay? See you later, kid. Bye-bye. Straight ahead.